And production has declined a lot for film in Los Angeles due to higher tax breaks in other states. Where was Sorority Forever filmed?
We went to Washington State because we had a lot of favors. So, because just shooting like a big mansion for the sorority, it was hard for, it's expensive in LA. So we had some. I'm from Washington, and two of the other guys, Chris Ample and Doug Cheney, from Washington State, and they went to Washington State University, which is near there. So we shot on campus a little bit, and we shot in some mansions that played for the sororities and the fraternity.
All right. Have you also filmed in other places other than LA?
Harper's Island was shot in Vancouver, the TV show, and there were bits of Harper's Globe that were shot up there, although most of it was done locally. We shot Cape Modern in London, but that was a London production. But other than that, Lonely Girl was really filmed all over Greater LA, and every single friend and family that we have filmed at their house at one point. We have roped everybody into it.
Yeah, we filmed all our places. We can't shoot at our houses anymore. But we still do.
All our locations are done.
All our roommates and their wives and stuff are not. They're done with us now, but. That's what you have to do at the beginning, like we have to shoot. We had to make it happen. There's no money to do it, so we just had to figure out a way to do it. Call in a lot of favors, so that's how it started.
That's great. Mary, is online the way of the future? Do you think internet shows are just going to take over traditional television, or?
I don't think internet shows are going to take over traditional television, because I think right now, I just came back from NAPTE, the National Association of Television Programming Executives, and nobody has the answers. There are no answers right now. And I don't think television is going to go away, just like radio didn't go away. I mean, people said radio was going to go away. I said radio is not going to go away. They just recreate themselves. Television's not going to go away. What's going to happen is we're going to have more choices. And it's going to be very exciting. And what we're also going to see is a lot more of a convergence. Just as doing a TV show and doing a webisode at the same time, there's going to be many more choices. But the convergence of everything, and you're probably going to start seeing newspapers creating their own comic strips relating to a webisode. I mean, we don't know where we're going, and that's kind of the exciting thing that's happening right now. I was just at the Television Academy, and there was a director there who said, if you don't know Photoshop, and if you don't know Flash, just hang it up, because you can't be in this business anymore without knowing the software. And I think that's really important.
So are you saying that internet and television will become one medium?
Oh, no. Oh, no. They'll be very, very separate. And we're going to use them for very separate things. But, you look at why do people use television? The number one reason people use television is for boredom and relaxation and to make them sleep, which is an interesting thing when we all talk about the great shows we produce, because I produce for TV, and I would hate to think of someone actually using my shows to fall asleep on, but I used to do the same thing. So they're going to be very separate, but we're going to use them for different things. And people use television for one reason, they use the internet for the other reason, and they use newspapers for another reason.
You said back in January, I believe it was the National Association of Television Producers, you said that they talked about 3 words the entire
time. There was only 3 words that they were talking about. They were going internet, mobile devices, and time shifting. And for 5 days, those are the 3 words every panel talked about. And the biggest panels that were attended were everything that has the internet. Anything that had anything related to the internet was where people were attending. Because it was really interesting. One of the executives, the sales executives, said the hardest thing he's doing is trying to reteach his salespeople how to sell ads on TV, because they have to really retrain them. It's no longer just go to a different group of people to sell ads, but the fact that TV is changing. We're seeing 5-second commercials now. So everything is changing. We have to look ahead. We can't look as what's been in the past. We just have to keep looking ahead.
And can you explain what time shifting is?
Time shifting is when people actually watch something at a different time. So if you're going to watch Harper's Island, what time's Harper's Island going to be on?
10 o'clock Thursday nights.
Okay, so 10 o'clock Thursday night. I have a class until 10:50. I'm not going to be able to watch it. So I'll just hit my TiVo, and when I get home at 11:30 and I'm too tired, I'll just save it and watch it at 7:30 the next morning. So I've time shifted the time. I'm shifted the time I'm watching the program.
I don't think I've watched live TV except for something that like the Oscars or the Super Bowl or something in 2 years. I mean, literally everything.
Really?
Yeah, everything is DVR.
Have you, Ryan?
Not very much. Yeah, it's just sports, you know. I mean.
Yeah, sports. Yeah.
Yeah, but everything else is like TiVo. Watch it when you want.
Then how are they keeping track?
I probably don't count. Although I'm not a Nielsen family, so I never counted.
Actually, the TiVos now have tracking. They track.
They do.
They're tracking on TiVo now.
Right.
Or we should call them digital video recorders.
Yeah, right.
Or Big Brother.
And Mary, you had mentioned some other webisodes like Dad Labs.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of interesting webisodes. There's one called Dadland, and it was created by these 3 guys in Texas, and who are all going to be new fathers. And what they wanted to know was how to become a new father. I mean, what do you do? And they all had been elementary school teachers, but they really wanted to be filmmakers. So they basically created this show, and how they sold it was really interesting. They went to all the baby shows, baby trade shows, and they would like write reviews of products, and then they would take the reviews to the companies and say, this is what we wrote about you, are you interested in it? And what happened is a company called Baby Born, BJORN, said, we want to be your sole sponsor. And it's gotten really, got a lot of traction to it. Another one of my favorite shows is a show, it's called The Guild, and it's based on World of Warcraft, players who play World of Warcraft, which is an MMORPG online game. And what they did is that she actually created this show. The first 2 episodes she funded, and then she decided, maybe if people like me, they might pay for it. So she put a PayPal button on and said, if you like my show, contribute. People contributed enough, I think, for 5 episodes, and now Microsoft has picked it up. So there's all kinds of new business models. You know, you don't have to go to, I mean, there's the models that you guys are doing is going to the networks and other, but there are lots of other models going on.
Did you do PayPal?
Yeah, I mean, we had a PayPal button for Lonely Girl for a bit. We didn't make enough money to cover costs. One of the things with Lonely, when it first started, it was really inexpensive. But as the story expanded, it got more expensive. I mean, we had to hire a director and editor and full-time people, especially because we were building out a business. But we found, I mean, there's a ton of models that we've used. I mean, all of our shows are at the core financed through advertising, so product integration and sponsorships. For Lonely Girl, we did a 2-month deal with Neutrogena where they had a character become part of the storyline. We had worked with Hershey's, we worked with 20th Century Fox to promote the movie Jumper. For Cape Modern, we did deals with Procter & Gamble, Orange Mobile, Disney and Paramount to promote some movies, Toyota, Cadbury's, and are working with more brands for other shows as well.
Okay. I'd like to ask each of you a final question before we go. And the question is, Miles, we'll start with you. What do you think the average viewer will be watching, and how will they be watching it in 10 years?
In 10 years. I think we're going to see more and more screens everywhere, and so I think people will be watching short format content that is part of a larger brand that they sort of associate themselves with or that they like, and that brand will probably be across multiple mediums, and they'll have it on their little devices, and they'll be interacting, or they'll be on their computer interacting. But I really think it's going to be, I still think big brands will dominate. It's just that they'll go to all the different devices everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be everywhere, but I mean, especially phones. I mean, like our show, Prom Queen, it's pretty big over in, in Japan and stuff like that, because they also remade it in Japan with Japanese actors and stuff. So it's big on mobile devices because they're way ahead on mobile phones watching shows. So the show fit perfect for over there. So, but as soon as the U.S. catches up, more people will be watching, because not a lot of people watch it on their phone as much as other places. So that'll definitely grow.
And Mary?
One big screen that you're going to be able to put everything on. I mean, it's not going to be a television monitor. It's going to be there are going to be screens everywhere in the house, just like you said, and cell phones.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all we have time for. This is On Point, and I'm Ashley Attwood.